In both Devstream 139 and a large developer workshop titled Review, Revise, and Refresh, Digital Extremes outlined and explained changes coming in a soon-to-be-released mainline update. The topics included in the post were armor, health, shields, infested damage, enemy AI aimbots, shield gating, self-damage, excavator health and shields, titania and Vauban, rewards, UI changes, arcane changes, new restore blueprints, sentinel modding, 100% plus status effects and how it gets affected, status mod buffs, grenade markers, liches, their fixes and murmurs, deferred rendering, field of view, and HDR rendering. Each of these topics will get their own collected videos and will be compiled into a single Last Week in Warframe episode that gathers the information into one place, but as for this video, it covers upcoming changes to the overall Arcane system, plus the addition of new arcanes with Operation Scarlet Spear. Now before I read the changes, I should preface the information with dev comments from the dev stream, so I'll do that now.
Next up is Arcane Changes. So this is the change that is basically built on the foundation of all health armor changing. So because shield gating got added, the Arcane Aegis was like, oh, should we change this? What should we do? And then we started looking at everything Arcane.
Yeah, I guess it opened up a can of worms like many things. So Arcanes were kind of always meant to be like a special thing that happens that can turn the tide of combat. Double stacking them basically created those things happening far too often. So we are going to remove double stacking.
Yes.
But we are going to, across the board, move all arcanes that you could double stack to rank 5. And then we are doing a audit of the current arcanes and kind of nerfing and buffing and kind of hopefully normalizing the crew so there is more diversity in the builds that people want to run, and it isn't just the same 3. Everyone, you must get these, everyone's farming for just these. Meanwhile, there's 33 other ones that are just sitting there rotting and no one wants them. So we're buffing the low end. We're trying not to nerf the top end too hard. We're adding a cooldown or a refresh mechanic to them. Some were proccing far too often, but they were still like fun to use. So instead we're adding like some of the instant ones, we're adding a little bit of duration to them and not allowing them to refresh while that duration is going on. So basically a small cooldown mechanic for some of the really powerful ones, just to kind of throttle them a bit and bring some of the other ones up. So.
Historically, if you wanted to avoid the radiation damage effect in Eidolon battles, you would equip 2 maxed arcane healings. 2, all your arcanes are used for that particular effect. Now 1 will give you 100% resistance. Oopsie, so you could use that second arcane slot. So say you wanted to do one that had to do with armor, you could use one for that. So you could switch that other arcane out for something else.
This is going to be a change to the meta, and we totally understand this particular change. I think a bit scary for some of you in chat. I can see a lot of negative or reluctant reactions, but we are going to do a balance pass, as Scott said, on the existing arcanes that we think are going to increase the diversity and make sure that there's not just 1 or 2 double stacked arcanes as the only ones that are valuable and the rest are trash. We will be listening, but we think that the current situation in entropy is not a good one for the reasons that there are other arcanes that are completely useless.
Another thing I need to talk to Pablo about is some of the ones that have radius and strength in them aren't listed correctly. See, like that is just saying 40% chance to heal a nearby enemy.
How nearby?
How nearby?
Yes.
How much? So there's a few stats that aren't surfaced in the arcanes as well.
Yes.
And I can see people in chat saying, well, the other arcanes are useless because you made them boring or useless. And of course, that's why we're here talking about this.
Yeah.
I can potentially see us changing drop rates to kind of compensate for those extra ranks. So the goal here is not at all to increase the grind for anything we're talking about.
Yeah, we don't want to say, okay, now go have fun doing your Eidolons again, because we are with Operation Scarlet Spear. We're going to be adding all of the arcanes to the reward manifest for you to choose what ones you get as you participate in the event. So
we want to correct mistakes in the meta. We do not want to squeeze you for more grind.
No, you'll be able to play Scarlet Spear as you're playing, doing your squad links, getting your points. You can. Little Duck will be providing all the arcanes for you to pick and choose which one.
So, the changes. DE will be removing the ability to equip 2 of the same arcanes, alongside increasing the maximum rank of arcanes to 5 from 3. The rank increase will also bring stat adjustment so that a rank 5 arcane is generally 1.5 times their base power. They will also add the ability to dismantle built arcanes into rank 1 versions, which can be used to dismantle a duplicate rank 3 arcane into numerous rank 1s. They can then be used to reach rank 5, although DE did comment that you won't be able to reach rank 5 by dismantling one of your 2 rank 3s alone, as you'll need 1 extra arcane of the same type to complete the process of going from 2 rank 3s to 1 rank 5. To clarify, hopefully make it easier, with the current system we need 10 arcanes to make a rank 3 arcane, but with the new system we'll need 21 arcanes to reach rank 5. So, players who have 2 rank 3 of the same arcanes can dismantle one of them into 10 rank 1 arcanes, which will get you to rank 4 with the new system, and then with the addition of another arcane which is rank 1 of the same type, which you'll need to source or farm from either trading, eidolons, or Little Duck Shop during Operation Scarlet Spear, you can reach rank 5. Now, on top of those changes, arcane revives will begin at rank 3. While the specifics on stat changes to Operator Magus Arcanes weren't shared, they did state that they will also be increased to rank 5, and that the other stat changes will be listed within the patch notes for Operator Magus Arcanes. Before I continue to the actual stat changes and information about each arcane, I'll read the Dev Workshop reasoning post. The reasoning here is mainly towards the ability to equip 2 of the same arcane. This reasoning is one of past inconsistency and time-determining intent. There are a lot of builds that specialize the use of 2 arcanes, but we want to encourage a variety instead of duplication. Arcanes are the only upgrade system in the game that allow 2 of the exact same upgrade to be equipped, and we would rather players have variety than duplications. In the same way you cannot equip Amalgam Serration and Regular Serration, you can't equip multiple ribbons per weapon or any duplication of mods at all. Arcanes will follow. But we are making major changes to the ranking, up from 3 to 5 with power changes. Instead of having 2 of the same arcane with a double effect, you can now choose between 2 different arcanes that behave generally at 1.5 times efficiency than before. Now, they also shared their proposed stats and changes to existing arcanes, and at the end of this upcoming list, I'll also share the new arcanes coming with Operation Scarlet Spear. All these arcanes are at max rank, which is rank 5, so that's their stats for that. Arcane Acceleration. Upon a critical hit, you have a 30% chance for a 90% fire rate increase to primary weapons for 9 seconds. For Arcane Aegis, upon getting your shields damaged, you have a 3% chance for plus 30% shield recharge for 12 seconds. For Arcane Agility, upon wall latching, you'll get a 150% increase to damage for 30 seconds, and they have added a cooldown to this arcane, which means it cannot re-trigger while the cooldown is active. For Arcane Avenger, upon being damaged, you'll have a 21% chance for a 45% critical chance increase for 12 seconds. For Arcane Awakening, upon reloading, you'll have a 60% chance for a 150% damage increase to pistols for 24 seconds. For Arcane Barrier, upon getting your shields damaged, you'll have a 6% chance to instantly restore all shields. For Arcane Blade Charger, upon getting a primary weapon kill, you'll have a 30% chance for a 300% melee damage increase for 12 seconds. For Arcane Bodyguard, upon getting 6 melee kills within 30 seconds, you'll heal a companion for a greater amount, and the amount was not shared. For Arcane Consequence, upon getting a headshot, you'll have a guaranteed chance for a 60% parkour velocity increase for 18 seconds. For Arcane Deflection, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a slash damage effect. For Arcane Energize, this is a big one. Upon picking up an energy orb, you'll have a 60% chance to replenish energy to nearby allies, and they've also added a duration and cooldown to the arcane, which means it cannot re-trigger while active. That's all the information they've shared for Arcane Energize. For Arcane Eruption, upon energy pickup, you'll have a guaranteed chance to knock down nearby enemies. For Arcane Fury, upon getting a critical hit, you'll have a 60% chance for a 180% melee damage increase to melee weapons for 18 seconds. Another big change came to Arcane Grace. Upon your health getting damaged, you'll have a 9% chance for a 6% health regeneration for 9 seconds. And they've also added a cooldown to the arcane, which means it cannot re-trigger while active. For Arcane Guardian, upon being damaged, you'll have a 15% chance for a 600 armor increase for 30 seconds. For Arcane Healing, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a radiation damage effect. For Arcane Ice, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a heat damage effect. For Arcane Momentum, upon getting a critical hit, you'll have a 60% chance for a 150% reload speed increase to sniper rifles for 12 seconds. Arcane Nullifier, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a magnetic damage effect. Arcane Phantasm, upon executing a parry, you'll have a 45% chance for a 60% speed increase for 18 seconds. Arcane Pistolier, upon getting a pistol headshot kill, you'll have a 60% chance for a 102% ammo efficiency for 12 seconds. They've also added a cooldown to this arcane. Once again, it means it cannot re-trigger while it's active. For Arcane Precision, upon getting a headshot, you'll have a guaranteed chance for a 300% secondary weapon damage increase for 18 seconds, and a cooldown has been added. Once again, cannot re-trigger while active. For Arcane Primary Charger, upon getting a melee kill, you'll have a 30% chance for a 300% primary weapon damage increase for 12 seconds. For Arcane Pulse, they have increased the stats and added a cooldown. Steve mentioned on stream that they did want to increase the range of Arcane Pulse because it was way too small and your teammate may as well have just been on the orb itself. Anyway, Arcane Pulse, upon getting a health pickup, you'll have a 30% chance to heal nearby allies. For Arcane Rage, upon getting a headshot, you'll have a 15% chance for a 180% damage increase to primary weapons for 24 seconds. For Arcane Resistance, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a toxin damage effect. For Arcane Strike, upon getting a melee hit, you'll have a 15% chance for a 60% attack speed increase to melee weapons for 18 seconds. For Arcane Tanker, upon equipping your arc gun, you'll get 1800 armor for 24 seconds. They've also added a cooldown to this arcane. Arcane Tempo. Upon getting a critical hit, you'll have a 15% chance for a 90% fire rate increase to shotguns for 12 seconds. For Arcane Trickery, upon executing a finisher, you'll have a 15% chance to become invisible for 30 seconds. For Arcane Ultimatum, upon executing a finisher, you have a guaranteed chance to get plus 1200 armor for 8 seconds. For Arcane Velocity, upon getting a critical hit, you'll have a 90% chance for a 120% fire rate increase to pistols for 9 seconds. For Arcane Victory, upon getting a headshot kill, you'll have a 75% chance for a 3% health regeneration for 9 seconds. And for Arcane Warmth, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a cold damage effect. As for the new arcanes coming with Scarlet Spear, they are Arcane Temperance. You'll have minus 90% damage taken during a revive. For Arcane Survival, on pre-death, you'll have a 60% chance for minus 150% bleed out rate for 60 seconds. For Arcane Shield, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist an impact damage effect. For Arcane Projection, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a corrosive damage effect. For Arcane Detoxifier, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a toxin effect. And for Arcane Liquid, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a gas damage effect. And lastly, to finish this arcane focused video off, Arcane Defense, you'll have a guaranteed chance to resist a puncture damage effect. Now that concludes this video focused on the changes coming in the next mainline update to Arcanes, and I will have more videos out covering the other information shared in the Devstream and the developer workshop. I do apologize, I did run a poll, but there will be a compiled video of different recordings later. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.